A couple of weeks ago I made this little commercial about an electric motorbike purely for no other reason than to have a little bit of fun and to test out a new lens that I recently bought.
Good morning.
There's a sound the typical British village makes. You only hear it when nothing interrupts it. Maybe the future of riding is quieter than we thought.
And I've come to realise that things like this, little projects like this, are something that as for filmmakers, videographers, creatives, we all need to be doing a little bit more of. So when you talk about spec ads, it basically just means a fake commercial or advertisement that you make without a client. You're not being paid to make it, you're not being told what to make, there's no company asking for it. You're just creating something as a creative exercise purely for yourself, to challenge yourself and just to create a body of work and build your portfolio.
Okay, go quick, yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
And the reason that people do this is because it gives you complete creative freedom, which is something that you don't always have when you're working with clients with strict deadlines and briefs. With this, there's no brief. There's no one telling you what it needs to look like. There's no marketing team asking for changes. And you can just experiment and try things and figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. So if you, I'll turn around and you start it running for me.
Okay.
And then just
go into the end of the
going up the hill.
trees. And then try and ride in the middle.
Ooh.
I'm a bit nervous about this one. Hopefully it works.
And sometimes projects like this can actually end up becoming really useful further down the line as well, because they allow you to build up a bit of a portfolio of your work and show people what you're capable of when you're given free rein to just go and create. And it can maybe even help you land some work somewhere in the future as well, potentially even with the brand of the thing you made the video about, because you could then send it to them and say, hi, hello, this is me, this is what I do, I've made this. I'd love to know what you think. For me, this was just a really good excuse to just go and shoot something, because I just bought the Sirui Saturn anamorphic lens and I wanted to have a play with it and create something. It's been a while since I've used an anamorphic lens in general. My dad also had a bike on loan for his own YouTube channel, which he was making a YouTube video about. So it was the perfect opportunity. And for me, that's always the best way to learn about how equipment really performs. It's not by watching videos, it's not by just figuring it out, playing with it at your desk. It's about when you're on a shoot, moving around, figuring shots out, dealing with light. That's when you really start to understand it and what a camera or a lens is actually capable of. And when you get to a paid shoot, that way you're not then trying to figure it out on the job, which can be a little bit detrimental.
Is that happy? Happy, yeah.
It looks
Can we ride it away while you're at it?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Is there anyone there?
Yeah, go. I was happy then because it looked good as the guy walked past.
The actual shoot itself was incredibly simple because it was just me and my dad, the bike and a camera and one lens, and Holly very kindly came along as well to shoot a little bit of behind the scenes footage. But because this was such a small personal project, there was no pressure to make it overly complicated. I wanted the shots to feel quite clean and minimal and quite spacious as well, but because the bike is electric and it's also made in Britain as well, so I wanted to try and play on that a little bit, showing a typical British village, the pub, the bike not disturbing it because of that, because bikes have this reputation of being quite loud and boisterous, but with it being an electric bike, This is a little bit different. It's silent. So I wanted to try and play on that a little bit and use that to its advantage and make it stand out for that reason. Because of that, I kept the shots incredibly simple. Everything was just shot statically on a tripod with no camera movement at all, which meant I was thinking about composition of each shot a lot more. One of the nice things about doing a project like this is that you can take your time a little bit more because you've not got someone watching over your shoulder trying to speed things up. You can just experiment a bit more, try different angles. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. You're just learning as you go. Another thing that I had to take into consideration a little bit was because the focus distance on the Sirui Saturn is so poor, it's like just under a meter. I couldn't really get any close-ups apart from one shot where I used some diopters. But I think that in this situation that works really well because it allows you to tell a little bit more of a story rather than it being just a typical commercial about a specific product and showing lots of close-ups of the product. And because of that, the close-up of the logo where I did use the diopter stands out a little bit more in the whole edit, and it acts as a little bit of a reveal of the brand because that's the first time in the ad where you actually see what bike it is, and in fact that the video itself is actually about the bike. When I'd finished the shoot and I got back home, the next stage was to start editing it and piecing it all together. And honestly, the edit for me is where something like this starts to come to life a little bit. I was a bit worried when I was actually filming this video that all my footage just looked the same because I felt a little bit limited using just the one lens, the 35mm anamorphic, and I couldn't really get any close-ups unless I used diopters. But I was just starting to doubt the whole idea a little bit, and I think I needed to get to this stage to be able to actually believe what I shot could be something a little bit interesting. So I was kind of doubting the whole project a little bit, and I just thought that it wasn't necessarily going to work. But when you start to see it all come together, you piece it together, you add a few sound effects, you create a little bit of a story, that's when the magic starts to happen. So this is the whole finished timeline of the video inside DaVinci. And as you can see, it is incredibly simple. There's not a whole lot to it. There's barely any footage really, and most of the heavy lifting is being done by all of these different sound effects. I've always been quite into my sound design because it does make such a huge difference to the actual finished outcome that you end up with, and it is very, very important. However, one thing that doing this little project has taught me is just how important it is, because it doesn't matter how simple your visuals are. These could not be any simpler. It is such a basic video in terms of everything that I shot, but all of the heavy lifting is being done by the sound effects and the music, trying to find music that matches the tone of the video that you're trying to get across. The music and all of these sound effects, by the way, are downloaded from Audio. That's Audio with 2 I's. I will drop a link in the description down below. This video isn't sponsored, it's just my audio platform of choice for all my video creation. As you can see, this video is not very long at all. It is it's 50 seconds long exactly if you include the little logoed end screen. But most of my time was spent editing all of these different sound effects and trying to layer them as much as I possibly could just to try and create a little bit of atmosphere. So if I turn off the music, this is the same music track, I've just layered it so there's no cut in the middle of it. So if I mute the music and just play it back entirely with sound effects.
Good morning.
There's a sound the typical British village makes. You only hear it when nothing interrupts it. Maybe the future of riding is quieter than we thought.
So you can see throughout the whole video,
there are sound effects. There's not one quiet point where there's actual silence, because that would just pull you out of the video. That would make it less engaging. So the idea is to try and draw the viewer into the video, and that's why sound design is so important. And you're just trying to pick up on little things that are in each clip. So for example, here it's pretty obvious. It's just a little church. So I've got church bells ringing in the background, but I've got birds singing as well. And then when we get to here, we've got the horse this was just a very quick shot that I managed to get as this horse was going past. It wasn't a planned shot at all.
Nice little bonus shot.
So I just got some sounds of horses walking along a concrete and a little snort as well. And then I also found this little sound, which is of this woman saying hello. Or good morning, sorry. So I thought that fits perfectly. So I'm just going to include it into the video, and it just helps to add a little bit of atmosphere. And the more you do this and more you layer it up, it makes the world of difference to your final project. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everything apart from the music, and I'm going to play it through once more just with music.
There's a sound the typical British village makes. You only hear it when nothing interrupts it.
You get the point. I'm not going to play the whole thing to you because it is very boring without sound effects. I'm even going as far as getting a little rusty, where this sign is swinging in the wind, getting a little rusty kind of swinging noise. Just little subtle things like that. The sound of a kickstand being put down on the bike. All of these different little things make a huge difference, and it is well worth spending the time just trying to find sound effects, or even make your own sound effects. That can be quite fun as well sometimes. But the more you can do it, honestly, it makes the world of difference.
Now, this isn't some incredible commercial or advertisement. Like I said, it is an incredibly simple little project, but that's kind of the point, because when you make things like this, you're learning a lot without even realizing it. You're learning about framing, composition, editing, sound design, and I think for me, the main thing is storytelling. That's one thing that I'm always trying to improve as a filmmaker, videographer, and as a photographer as well. But you're also learning about your gear and how it performs in a real shooting situation, which is incredibly valuable for when you do eventually get to use that gear on a paid job. But I think more than anything, you learn that you don't need to be making big, complicated projects with loads of fancy camera movement, loads of crazy editing tricks, and throwing everything that you can at a project just to try and make something interesting. Because sometimes less is more. And I do think that sometimes we get so obsessed with gear and over editing that it just becomes incredibly easy to sometimes forget the basics. I made this on my own with one camera, one lens and a tripod and just natural light in one day. Could I have made it better with a crew, some lighting and more gear? Probably yes, but that's not what it was really about. I think as photographers, creatives, filmmakers, we're all guilty of sometimes being in that situation where we're waiting around for a job or a client to go to and make something and create something. And I know I'm guilty of doing this as well, because I have a full-time job as a photographer, videographer, doing real estate work, but I rarely make the time to go and just make stuff like this purely for no reason. But honestly, sometimes some of the best things that you can do creatively are the projects that you make just for yourself, with no pressure, no expectations, no experimenting, just trying ideas. Even if the result is simple, like this one is for me, you're still improving your skills and building a body of work. And sometimes those projects can actually open doors for you later on. So there we go. It's nothing groundbreaking by any means, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a fun little creative project. But honestly, if you just bought yourself some new gear, whether that's a camera, a new lens, or maybe you just want to improve your filmmaking skills in general and learn some new techniques or something like that, I'd genuinely really recommend going out and making something like this. Make a little plan and just go and film it, and you'll be genuinely surprised as to how much you might learn from it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about any little projects that you might be working on. If you want to watch another video all about the lens I used to film this video, I will link it here, and I shall see you there.